Hello everyone, welcome back to another NTW3 tournament battle. Today we will have the 10 LR or 10th Lincolnshire versus EC. On the coalition team today we have Belfort playing as the Hildar Expedition. On the Austrians over here on the left side, they will be played by Generic Bad Guy, and for the Russian player in the rear, they are being played by Barbaneth. For the EC team on Imperial, they will have a Denmark commanded by Phony, a Rhinebund, which starts all the way over here on the right side of Coalition, being played by Drogo Staff, and the center French 1809 to 1812 11-pointer is being played by Victoret. So, let's get this battle underway. The map is, I think, America 3. I don't know which type it is, but I think it's America 3. It's got a lot of rivers, it's got a lot of forests, and it's going to make maneuvering for the coalition a lot more harder, as their infantry is generally slower, and they're going to have a bit of a harder time trying to reinforce each other if one of them gets picked out into the open. So, coalition, Austria seems to be going off on its own, marching through the forest. It's got a decent mix of elite and normal infantry. I think I saw the Håkon Deutschmeister somewhere. There it is, yeah. So he's got the Håkon Deutschmeister combat general, which is a pretty good unit. And the Austrians will be facing off against the Danish 8-pointer. Hildar Expedition is marching down the center right now, down the road. And Hildar has brought a very interesting army. I've checked over it, and it appears that it is all Russian infantry. One of the benefits of Hildar is that they can bring British infantry, and the fact that he's gone all Russian is, I guess he wants to try and get into melee as quickly as possible and try and win that way. So let's see how it goes. He does have the Dragooni St. Petersburg, which is a very expensive, I think it's the only heavy cavalry unit that they can bring, medium cavalry unit. And he's also got a couple of light cavalry here, Gusari and Cossacks. The Russian player has also brought a mix of decent infantry, Moskova, Nizhny Novgorod, so pretty good shooters, with a couple of fast melee infantry mixed into there, no grenadiers. And he's also brought a good cavalry corps, which will be needed to face off against the French. For the French, so for what we could see at least, they seem to have brought 2 dragoons, chasseurs, so a mixture of really poor light cavalry and decent dragoons. Most likely they will have heavy cavalry in the rear here. The Danes also, from what we saw over here, although some of it is vanished now, they had a decent mix of really expensive light cavalry and heavy cavalry. And Rhinebund, we now see, is starting to come up onto the right side of Coalition. The Ulanen, Prince Clemens, and the Hussars von Engel, so very expensive light cavalry units right here. Saxon light cavalry is always decent in Rhinebund. Here we have an aggressive play by the French chasseurs, trying to delay the Hildar expedition from getting into this house, which I don't think they're going to be able to do because the grenadiers are over here in the rear, so the Russians will be able to get into the town first, and they will secure this building. And they will secure it and wait for these grenadier units, these Russian grenadier units, to come up and secure the house. French cav still going to be very brave, and they're going to attempt to take it. However, bit of lag because the cavalry are attacking the house. However, the Russians have managed to get in, and yeah, the French are going to withdraw from this. However, they are sending their grenadiers into the house. Nope, they've thought differently. They are pulling out. Okay, the Russians have managed to get their... the Hildar expedition have managed to get their general up, so now the morale buff will be helping out these troops, and yeah, France has realized that he cannot win this. Let's check his army while we can. He's got a very large army full of 200, 300 gold units here and there. The Terrible's pretty good, combat general over there, very expensive. not a lot of artillery. He only has a couple of 4-pounders, and it doesn't seem like he has any heavy cavalry, which is unorthodox, I think, for 11 points of France, but to each his own. Checking over here, Austria is still advancing slowly against the Danish lines, who have set up artillery. The 6-pounders will do quite a number upon the advancing Austrians. However, these Austrians are a 10-pointer and the Danish are an 8, so theoretically they should win in this combat if nothing is supporting them. The French army running into position now to try and face the Russian assault. And the Russians are being very brave right now, trying to actually match the French in a gunfight. And their men are taking quite some losses now. Again, because they're Russian, they're not the best at shooting. You're going to be wanting these guys, I mean the cheap Russian infantry, you're going to want them to sort of like shield your grenadiers as you go in. But you don't want to kill your meat shields too soon. Otherwise, they're not going to make it worthwhile. Austria running its men. I still don't understand why people run their men into position like this. His troops are already active, so they're going to take a couple of pot shots at these Danish lines. It also seems that the Danish have howitzers in the rear here that are firing down upon the heavy cavalry of Austria, which is a very good trade-off. So they've already killed 4. But an Austrian cavalry charge going on to some Danes. The Danes were not seeing, did not micro properly, and they did lose this cavalry unit and will not come back. Another risky play here, straight at some French infantry, and it's not going to work. The French have set up and they are firing, and to charge down here, you would lose a lot of men. However, he is seemingly going to try it. Oh, and we also see some 8-pounders that are set up here. Russia is... yeah, Heldar Expedition is going to try and bayonet charge straight down the center. Jesus, ouch. He does not have his general nearby, so his morale is going to be heavily impacted. He is pushing it up right now, though. But these musketeers have lost a lot of men. They are only facing infantry, but it is supported by the rest of the army, and he has a general nearby. Russia should start sending cavalry. Yep, here. He's going to start sending cavalry at the lone squarables, but again, straight into the French lines. They're going to get a shot off. It is the Dragooni, so this is the expensive medium cavalry unit that they can field, and they're going to try and break through 11-pointer here. Russia is content with keeping his cavalry here, it seems, just to ward off the Saxons. Another bayonet charge here by the musketeers right into the Legers. And it seems like there's going to be a chain route now in the lines of the French. So a couple more units are routing, and that's going to cause the rest of them to break down the line because of the routing units penalty. Very risky move here, but it's paying off. Let's just do slow-mo and check in. Oh, there's his cuirassiers. Okay, so his heavy cavalry is away from the fight. He really should have his heavy cavalry somewhere in the center trying to support this, his lines. But checking over to the Danish player, the Danish are trying to counter-attack against the German infantry, and he's also moving up his infantry to try and tie down the square, maybe shoot at it or bayonet charge it. But yeah, France 11 is being pummeled right now by the 8-pointer. And all in all, it's not looking good for him. He's losing a lot of men in this engagement. Whilst the French infantry are pretty good at shooting and they're good for holding the line, they're not. These Tyrols and the 11E and all these other units, they're non-squareable, they're cheap, for France 11 anyway, and they don't have the best of melee, so they all got about 11 to 12, maybe 10 to 12. But Rheinbund has caught the Russians by surprise and has initiated a charge upon them. They do have the general nearby, however, the Litovsky are actually managed to break the Hussars von Engel, which should not have happened, honestly. the Hussars from Engel are like 800 gold, something like that, and they just broke to some Lancers from Russia. So yeah, this is a very quick fight. The Chevaliers Prince Albrecht broke the Cuirassiers' countercharge, so it looks like this gambit failed. France still unable to stabilize its lines, and its Cuirassiers now tired and caught in the open. Its morale already wavering after only losing 30 men. It should be able to beat these Chevaliers if it wanted to, theoretically.
Our men are running, sir.
Let's check back at the Austria. So the Austrians managed to stave off the heavy cavalry attack and they are withdrawing. But there's going to be another cavalry attack onto the flank of the Austrians, and also a general has been killed, which could be very important. The Saxon general has been killed. So that is not good. Saxony has... Rhinebund has lost all its cavalry, it's lost its general, and now its infantry are trying to run up to support the French. Their morale is not going to be good. All these Saxon units, large but poor morale, are going to be suffering heavily from that general loss. The Russians now pushing in their cavalry to support this charge. France trying to countercharge and just stop this bayonet assault for a bit. They do catch some Kazaki out into the open, but the Dragoons are overextended and they are stuck on the Russian Dragoons and I think a couple of Russian infantry as well, so these guys are going to rout, unfortunately for France. The Austrians have sent in their Hussars, I think, just trying to break one of these infantry units, which they did manage to. The Danish are setting up defensive positions around this forest, and they are doing a spread out defense trying to stop the Austrians. They do have superior cavalry over here. They got 3 cavalry units not doing anything. In addition, the French heavy cavalry is managing to beat the light cavalry of Austria here, the Kaiser Franz. Yeah, it looks like the Danish morale though is not going to hold up, and these Austrian lines are going to easily just cut them down. There we go, red morale everywhere. France losing its artillery, perhaps? A Russian bayonet charge by the Moskova going right in to the 11-pointer, and it's going to take out both the Obusiers and an infantry unit. The last French Dragoon unit is being held up by the Dragooni, and it will rout. Denmark pushing up another desperate cavalry charge straight into the Austrian lines, and it is going to get volleyed down. And it's going to break, unfortunately. It should break. There you go. And that's going to cause this unit to break as well. There we go. The Danish are now on the run. They are trying to defend their artillery piece. They have managed to get 1 light cavalry unit into the rear of the Austrian lines, and they are trying to stall the Austrian advance. However, Austria is just continuously pushing up, not caring, and they have also managed to get to the artillery piece. Another Russian charge here, straight into the French, going after the last, I think, the last French cavalry unit. Oh no, they still have their heavy cavalry, but this is their last light cavalry unit at least. And that is going to break in prolonged combat. So, this is so far a very well played coalition. They have managed to completely annihilate 2 of the Imperial players before the 3rd has actually got into the battle, so they've used their numerical superiority in the centre and on the left to break through. So that's very good. The Danish seems to have routed, and there's not many of their units left. They do have some cavalry units remaining, light cavalry units, which would be very crucial in the late game. So they are going to withdraw those for a safer time. but most of their infantry has routed. And the French are again being charged, not having the cavalry to try and prevent this. They are going to lose their right flank to the Russians and Hildar Expedition infantry.
Our men are running, sir.
So, yeah, that was very well played to Hildar. He used his strengths in melee, and he managed to go straight down the centre right into the weak French infantry. And at this point, I do believe we could call it a day. That was a very quick tournament battle. I was not expecting that. But still, Rheinbund is still alive, so let's see if they could do something. However, Rheinbund does not have any cavalry left. It's got this small Ulanen unit remaining, but without its allies, who
We have killed their
have
general,
unfortunately
sir. Now
died.
they must break.
They're not going to do much. France also, I think this is France, yeah, France has lost his general as well, so the morale of these units are going to be even weaker. And the poor artillery crew is going to charge straight into the Russian infantry. Rest in peace. So, yeah, the Russians are now advancing against these large Saxon lines with nothing to fear, really. They're going to be putting in a couple of volleys, Ryazan, Moskova. So this is going to hurt, I think. Ouch. They have managed to set up artillery and is firing right down into the Russian lines. It's not going to help much though, because once again here comes a Russian bayonet charge out of the house into the life grenadiers of Rheinbund, who are running away in fear, and they're actually going to rout. What a waste of a unit right there.
Sir, and must rest a while.
I think this is like, what? It's a combat general for a lifeguard unit, so I think that's at least 800 to 1,000 gold routed off the bat by some Russians. And here, this other Saxon unit without the morale is going to rout as well. The Rheinbund infantry over here, being of Saxony, do not have the best of morale or melee, and as such it should be easy pickings for the Russians just to maneuver around them
All hope
and
is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
easily wipe them out. So we're going to scout on again. As soon as Russia gets his infantry into position, he's going to most likely charge. The Saxon artillery has been silenced. Let's see. And Rheinbund here got overextended and is going to be charged down by the Draguni and the other Draguni of Russia, and some Russian infantry as well. So these units, although they are firing, they're not going to last long.
Our men are running, sir.
Cool. These Russian units should... I think they're going to charge. Yep. They're going to charge straight down for the Life Fusilier infantry unit. There goes the charge bonus. Ouch. They are being shot into the flank by the Saxon infantry though. But the morale will hold and they will manage to break the Hessen-Darmstadt Light Fusilier. The remaining French units, there's just 2 left, fighting off the remainder of the Hildar expedition. They're not going to do much.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, the Danes are here! The Danish cavalry, the Danish light cavalry and the medium cavalry has arrived in the rear, and they're going to try and help out their Rheinbund allies. I think they're even going to manage to break this Pavlovsky Grenadier. Actually no, this is the Pavlovsk. Come on. Come on Pavlovsky, show these guys what you're made out of. Come on. Nope. Alright, Pavlovs suck. Yeah, it's Rheinbund versus the world now. The Danes have managed to lose their medium cavalry, unfortunately, and yeah, there's no winning the battle at this point. But Rheinbund cannot beat two players. Heldar is basically dead, so I'm not counting them. But the entirety of Russia seems mostly alive, with the Austrians being mostly intact as well, having lost only, I think, a couple of infantry units in the assaults. Again, these Danish light cavalry, though, are proving to be very annoying for the Heldar expedition, and they are going to wreak havoc upon their isolated and depleted lines. Russia going to outshoot these Saxon infantry easily. Very good, very good. But yeah, there's no way they could win. Saxons don't have the morale, they don't have any pushing capabilities, they've lost their grenadiers, all they have are these light infantry units left, and they will unfortunately rout in due time. So, yeah.
Our men are running, sir.
One thing I think the Imperials could have done better was maybe try and consolidate a bit more, and try and, I don't know, save the cavalry and use it to help their own main lines instead of using it on the flanks. But yeah, unfortunately they got caught out, and they did get overwhelmed by superior numbers in the end. So GG's, very well played to the coalition
Our
and
men
10th
are
Allied.
running, sir.
Yep, that's the rest of them dead. I think, let's see. Yeah, these are the last two Rheinbund units. There's a Danish unit that came back all the way over there, and there's another. No, that's it. Alright. So two Rheinbund units, one Danish unit left, and that'll be GG. Nice. Oh, no, there's even more returning units. Okay. That's what you get if you don't run down the Saxons. They'll
Our men
always
are
return.
running, sir.
Come on, finish it up. I want to see the scores. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oof. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Anyways, how are you all enjoying the new mic? I got a new mic, so maybe it's going to be better for recording videos. I don't know. People say it's better, so I hope it's better. There we go. That's the last Rheinbund unit down, and these two should rout soon. Soon. Yes. Perfect. Alright. Finally. Game's over. GG's, well played to everyone. I'll see you all in the next tournament battle, so see you all later.